Margaret, may you please just take us a bit through your journey with Hirsch?
Well, it's been a long one, so I'll do it as quick as I can. But first of all, thank you for having me, and I'm very honored to be here and to be one of your finalists. So I think that's just amazing, and it's amazing that you do this type of thing because recognition is so, so important. How often do you work? And I worked for 35 years without any recognition, just working hard before somebody sat up and said, "Oh my gosh, let me recognize it." So it's very good. But as you know, I'm a co-founder of the largest independent appliance company in South Africa. We sell fridges, stoves, washing machines, everything from toasters and kettles to you name it, televisions. We have it in our stores, everything for the home. And it's been our pleasure to serve our customers for the past 46 years. So I think there's a lot in that because to keep going for 46 years in the current financial climate is just not easy for anyone. But our journey started when we both lost our jobs. I lost my job when I got pregnant. My boss fired me. And in those days, there was no CCMA, so you took your handbag and went home. And my husband was working for a boss, and he just didn't like the way the boss was running the business. So we went from having no children and two jobs to having two children and no jobs in the space of 1 year. And that was our kickstart to get ourselves going. So we both took our severance pay, which at that stage was 900 Rand, and we started our business, which, and it's a long story, but from that 900 Rand, we will turn over 4 billion today. So it just goes to show it doesn't matter where you start, it's where you decide you're going to end. But what I want to get across to people is it doesn't happen overnight. It was a long journey. It took 46 years to get there. So you'll see our stores, we're not fancy people. We don't have fancy offices. We don't have fancy anything. We are very ordinary people that just carry on doing our ordinary job. But I think what we learned was that business is about people. People say to me, "What business are you in?" And I say, "I'm in the people business," because business is all about people. It's about relationships with your suppliers who will give you good prices, about relationships with your staff who will work hard for you and with you. And it's about your customers who will keep coming back, and you have to keep looking after them. And as in any relationship, you have to nurture that relationship. And business relationships need nurturing as well. You've got to look after them all the time to make sure that they grow. So for us, it wasn't smooth sailing. We've been through everything you can think of: fire, flood, looting, you name it. We've been through it, and we've been up and we've been down. And the looting, we lost everything. Everything was taken out of our stores. They were burnt to the ground, but we didn't stop. We carried on. And you'll see the videos if you follow me on Facebook. That's in 10 days from a shop that was completely gutted to up and running. Took me 10 days. So it just goes to show if you've got the inspiration and you've got the drive, you can do anything. So for me, to the entrepreneurs out there, it's not going to be easy. It is tough. But you know what? The rewards are so much more than sitting, moaning, and doing nothing and having nothing. So I always say your success benefits everybody. Your poverty benefits nobody.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot, Margaret. One of the pillars of African Genius Awards is problem solving, the ability to solve problems. And you did that right from the beginning, from the
Yeah.
problem of unemployment. Even now, many years after, you are coming into contact with various problems and you are solving them. What would you say differentiates you from other people who were in the same situation, people who are in the same situation today with South Africa and Africa's climate?
Well, I think first of all, I love Africa. I think Africa is just I just get goosebumps when I think about it because it's so vibrant. And as you know, I'm one of the beginning members of Lionesses of Africa with my friend Melanie Hawken, and we've got nearly 2 million, or she has nearly 2 million African women entrepreneurs on her books, and she communicates with all of us every single day. So that's how many African women entrepreneurs there are. There's a lot of us out there, but a lot of us are just working at our jobs, putting food on the table, roof over our heads, putting money in the bank. My personal mission is to make sure that every African woman is financially independent, because a financially independent woman can make her own choices. She can be around the people she wants to be with. She can educate her own children. She can buy her own home. She can drive her own car. She can put her own money in the bank, and she can invest her own money for her old age. So to me, my drive and my mission in this life is to make sure that African women have a voice, first of all, but more than that, that they have financial independence, because that to me is the crux of how we're going to drive Africa forward. It's women that'll drive it forward, and women with money that'll drive it forward. So we need to teach them not only how to make money, but more importantly, how to keep money.
Mm. And now, speaking of African women, due to various reasons, so many Africans, women and men, have developed this mindset of I need that grant, I need the
Yeah.
government to assist me, I need this person and
Yes.
that person to assist me.
Yes.
What can you say to those people, and how can we really help them come out of that mindset?
Do you know that I have a very simple philosophy? I believe that God gives you a little bit of money in this life and he sees how you handle it. If you handle it well, he gives you more. If you don't
Mhm.
handle it well, he doesn't give you any more. And if you get something for nothing, it has no value to you. You never get to keep it. And you look at anybody that you know, and you can think of anybody you know who got something for nothing, they don't have it today. Because you don't get to keep that. You only get to keep in this life what you earn. So it's so
Mm.
important to actually learn how to earn money, and not only earn it, but you invest it. So I teach everybody that I work with, and I work with a lot of entrepreneurs. Out of every 100 Rand you make, you save 10 Rand, you invest 10 Rand, and you give 10 Rand to charity to help somebody who's worse off than you. Now that does a lot of things. You've got to save. I mean, if I hadn't saved money, if I wasn't a saver, I would never have managed through COVID. Because when COVID hits, I had, a huge 20 million Rand salary bill to pay. I had hundreds of millions of Rand that I had to pay to my creditors. And if I wasn't a saver, I would never have had that money that would have seen me through. Secondly, you've got to learn to invest when you've got a little bit of money. No good waiting
Mm.
till you've got your first million and investing that and making a mess up and you lose that. Invest, even if you invest 10 Rand, learn how to invest. And then you invest that money and make your money work for you. Today, my money works for me. I don't work for money. So,
Mm.
to change that narrative, stop working for money and start making money work for you. And how do you do that? I started my property portfolio, and today, and I'll tell you not to impress you, but to impress upon you that if I can do it, you can do it. I started my billion Rand property portfolio saving 100 Rand a month to buy my first house. I saved 100 Rand a month until I had the deposit for my first house, which I bought in 1 Atchery Road, Durban North, to be exact. And I paid it off. And then I bought a bigger house further up the road, 97 Lothian Road. I paid that off. And so I went on. And you've got to start somewhere. People sit down waiting for a grant, waiting for somebody to throw something at them. It doesn't work like that in real life. In real life, you've got to go out and earn the money, learn how
Mm.
to invest and keep the money, and make your money grow so that you can leave a legacy for your children, and you can help to educate your children so that they don't have to go through the hardships that you've been through.
Wonderful, so wonderful. And one of the legacies you are leaving for your children is Hirsch's. And as African Genius Awards, we believe in Africans creating products and services that have a global competitiveness. Would you say that Hirsch's has that? Are you guys competing globally, especially with all the people importing all their things from abroad?
Well, yeah, we're very much African based. So although we in South Africa, we supply all our neighboring countries with all the goods and everything that they want. So we have expanded that way. Going into America, and America, I'm where I am at the moment. I do a completely different job. I'm a realtor, so I love property, and I always
Mhm.
say you have to have two streams of income. I don't know if you know that all my staff, I encourage them to have two streams of income. Don't only come to work and do this job. You must have another job. You must have something that you're passionate about. So, for instance, I've got somebody who does social media. I have somebody he's an MC for weddings. I've got people in my cashiers that sell things like, honey jewelry and Herbalife and stuff like that.
Mhm.
They all have two streams of income because you never know when one stream's going to dry up. So I have
Mhm.
two streams of income. I have Hirsch's on the one side, but I have my property portfolio on the other side where I get rent from properties that I own, and that's what keeps me buoyant. And the one balances the other. So I think it's important to not just think, oh my God, I'm just going to do this job. You've got to say, what
Mhm.
am I passionate about? And I've got ladies who are passionate about baking. So although they come to work and work all day, they go home at night, they bake cakes and they sell them and they make a
Mhm.
lot of extra money, and you can always, those little extras will give you the little extras that you need. So, I
Mhm.
mean, I have, people that work for me and they fix people's machines after hours. They fix cell phones. I
Mhm.
have ladies who crochet, and my friend Regina LaRue's got ladies who crochet bags out of um, old bread plastics, the plastic that goes around a loaf of bread.
Yes.
They take that and
Yes.
they crochet bags. So that one lady, when she's crocheted one bag, she gets 300 Rand for it. That pays her rent. Then the
Oh.
next 300 Rand goes towards her electricity. Then the next 300 Rand goes towards her school fees. And that's how we teach people to handle money, because
Mm.
making money is easy. It's handling it and looking after it that's the tricky bit.
Mm. That's very, very inspiring, and I'm sure that all the people who will watch this will see why you've been nominated as one of the African geniuses, because what you've just shared is stuff that everyone, from the youngest to the oldest South African and African, and even beyond, needs to know. So thank you so much for sharing, and once again, congratulations on being nominated as an African genius.
Thank you so much. And I think that recognition is it's a great thing to have, because it gives you credibility. When you go out, there's so many people out there today. Who do you trust? And if
Mm,
you've got the credibility of having the award and having a long-term business, people know that they can trust you. And today, a trust is something that you can't buy. So I
100%.
think today trust is really, really important. But my advice to all entrepreneurs out there is, don't wait for the perfect moment. Wherever you are right now, with whatever you've got, start. Take that first step, because every journey starts with the first step. When you take that first step, that's the step in the right direction. And now you just have to take the next one and the next one, and you'll get to where you want to be. The reason most people don't get to where they want to be, they don't know what they want. How many
Yeah.
times I say to people, what do you actually want? Well, I don't know. Well, God's busy. There's 8 billion of us on this earth, and he's busy up there. He hasn't got time for you to say, well, maybe I want this, maybe I want that. When you know exactly what you want, you can go out and get it, because there's nothing as strong as the human mind. And if you put your mind to it, you can have it.
Wow. I'm sure you're going to be taking even greater steps from where you are right now, from Hirsch as your realtor side of things. And we wish you nothing but the best. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.